Welcome back, everybody. We're here with another war video for Loki versus New Nation. This is war number 11, and they banned Apoc, CGR, and Kingpin. And I am on path 5-5 again. I have Professor X, White Nito, and Omega Sentinel. And first up, I have this Wong. I had the option to take Captain America, Infinity War, because I have a bunch of Mystic fights, but I just didn't like. I didn't know how he would do against a Sassy I got to face later, and X just completely wrecks him. But I like him for all the other fights more than I like X. And here with Wong, this is actually like poor placement because with Wong you want to knock him down once he gets over 90 charges, or else if you do a light or a medium, he'll detonate some damage on you. So as long as you have a White Nito, you can just parry at will here, and you need a parry to get the protection down. So it goes hand in hand with the way to avoid it. So here I am just kind of ramping up. I have Omega Sentinel synergy with Professor X, so I'm actually gonna get 2 persistent charges, or yeah, 2 charges off of this fight. And I'm at 100 mind control, so at this point I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get my Fury up. And just throw the SB3, and then that's all she wrote. So that's pretty straightforward. Where Wong gets in kind of trouble when he power gains off of heavy charging. So as long as you don't make him heavy charge and gets all crazy, unstoppable and all that, then he's pretty straightforward. So that fight went just as planned. And then next up we have a Magneto, and he is Conduit, and he is on ebb and flow knockdown, which means you have to knock him down to basically get a protection. And so here I was like, okay, every time I fight with Omega Sentinel on a Conduit and these Purify nodes, I always debate whether I even want to take the protection down or not. With Magneto, he has his own built-in protection with his Sig ability, so you can't really do more damage. So at this point, I got the Fury up and I'm just kind of chipping at him. I have the heal block on, so he's not gonna heal anything while that's there. I get the other I get the protection up again, and I have the Fury up, and now I heal block him. So now I'm like, okay, now I can do some damage again. At this point, I'm like, well, I don't know if it's really worth it to have it keep purifying my my heal block debuff, because it just doesn't make sense. Right there, what I did is I applied the heal block, and then I'm gonna throw my SP3 so I can land some plasmas on him, and then just pause them hopefully. But again, it's gonna get purified, so it doesn't really matter. I'm gonna pause them here, but then they go away anyway, so it's like I get clipped right there. And they did do quite a bit of damage now looking back on this, so it wasn't horrible. But you see when I heavy, I rotate out of my heal block. So here I'm like, okay, got my heal block on, I'm just gonna do this. And then you have to bait his special, which is annoying. So at this point, I'm not gonna knock him down. I'm just gonna throw my special and heal block him, and then just have him kill him that way. I have plenty of time, 3 minutes left, and he's already at 18%, so I'm like, okay. I think I may, nope, I just heal block him, yeah. I think the tick is gonna tick around 1500 or 1800, which is about almost 3,000 a second. So even with the protection up, oh, he's at 737, so yeah. So now I'm just gonna pause everything, and he's dead. And now we have America Chavez. So here I beat Wong, so I need to be careful, because she will start with a bar of power from my previous fight with Wong. She's gonna power gain. I'm gonna get the Fury up right away just to get that. But I do want her to throw this, and she does. And then I have be wary of MD, and now I'm just gonna build charges. I have an indestructible boost on, so my thought process here is like, okay, if she gets stingy, just make sure I get my protection up and I'm over 70 charges. That should be enough time, but I need to be at 2 bars. To protection plus my mechanics will push me back to an SB3. So I initiate mind control there, and I don't kill her, but the second SB2 does. So thank God for that. Now I have Storm X on the Power Snack Mini, and she's Conduit. This is a pretty straightforward fight. I'm just going to dex her SB1, heal block her, and then hit her with an SB2 or SB3, just to have her the plasma stick on her. So I'm going to land that heal block, and then just pause it from here on out. And I want to be aware of that power sting. So anytime she gains a bar of power, I get a power sting. So I don't want to throw a special while that's there. So here she's just getting kind of stingy, and I'm like, okay, let's go. And she's super stingy. We do this dance. There we go. And she throws this. Dex. I'm like, okay. All right. So I'm just gonna build back up. Heal block, and then I'm going to pause this, and here she stops being stingy. She throws it. I'm like, okay, perfect, let's go. A minute left, or a minute down, and she's about 70%. So I'm like, okay, perfect. Land a heal block, and I have to wait for that power sting. So what I want to do is kind of wait it out. I want to land another heal block, and I'm gonna throw this SB3, and then I'm gonna pop out of it and just pause everything. I just want my incinerates and my heal block to pause, and throw an SB1 to refresh my heal block, because that's really what I want to stay on there. So at this point she's just melting, and I realize that she's gonna die even without it, so she's dead. This man thing now, I've taken this before, and it wasn't an issue so much, but I don't know if the last person that I took it had a max MD or not, but I put an invulnerability boost because I do get poisoned after that, but I'll just heal off of that anyways. So I was like, okay, I just, I was trying to get intercept right there to start doing some damage. Didn't get it. Heal block him. I'm like, okay, and then the pustules start adding up. I get 2 on me. I'm like, okay, so I am nullify immune, but when those things fall off, he will gain power. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to wait for them to fall off, and they're just not falling off. And then he keeps throwing his SB1, and I'm like, he has 5 of them, he has 6, 7, 8 of them. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, these things keep falling off and feeding him power. And I'm trying to wait them out, and I'm just like, this is just not working out. So he's got 4, and I'm like, you know what? There's a minute left, or a minute gone, and he's at 89%. I need to make a decision here, because it's just not working. I'm trying to let this thing fall off, and he throws another one. At this point, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna tank 3 SB3s and just let my damage kind of like go at him, because I'm not gonna wait these things out long enough. So I'm like, okay, he throws this, and I think that now I'm really kind of like, okay, I'm not doing any damage to him. I need to get this going. 2 minutes have passed, and I'm just like, you know what, just go for it. It's 7 on me now. I just waited him out, and I'm like, just go. And this is where I just kind of start attacking. He gets really friendly with his special too. So I'm like, all right, let's just go. If he throws this, throw in my SP3, he's heal blocked. And even with the protection up, just kind of let this do work. And I'm thinking, okay, I can take 3 special 3s to the face and still survive. So here they're ticking for 925, so about 2,000 a second. And I'm like, okay, perfect. He throws this. pause everything again. And I'm like, alright, cool. Keep ticking, keep ticking. I have 2 minutes left, and he's at 56%. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to throw this SP2 and get some more incinerates on him. He's still heal blocked, so he's got no willpower. And I need him to throw this quickly, and he does, thank God. Now pause everything. I'm like, okay, perfect. And here we go. Now there's in about 30 seconds, I did about 30-40%. So I'm like, all right, perfect. Throw my SP1 to, or my SP2 again to land more incinerates. He throws a special one. I'm like, all right, this guy is dead. So that was kind of scary at first, but then it ended up being okay. So here, I got this Sassy. Take Sassy all the time with X. Pretty straightforward, just parry heavy. Don't worry about the protection. And build to my 100 mind control charges, bait his SP2, and then if he's in Tanorak, wait that out and throw my SP3. It's like clockwork. This is the fight where I could have taken it with Captain America, and I think I would have been fine. I just don't know. Sassy would have about 80k left when he's at 30%, and I would need to basically throw a big SP2 and then get my power back, and then kind of end it again as he's regenerating. So it was just unsure, but I like Captain America for all the other fights, especially this next fight coming up against Mojo, because he's just a tank versus him. He can take everything. He can glance some of the degen if I take an SP2 to the face. So here I'm like, okay, perfect. I'm like, all right, I got the intercept. I was in the corner, and now just hit him with the SP3, and that went rather perfect. Now I do a ton of damage here, a ton of damage. He was like at 96%, gets down to 50, 46, and it's okay, fine. And I initiated mind control. I didn't heavy charge into it, and I get another SP3, and this is a big, chunky, beefy Sassy. It's an R4, and he's dead. 2 special 2s. Okay. Now we have Mojo on the 456 mini, so it's Mighty Charge, Crumbling Armor. And yeah, the plan here is I didn't involve because I want to get to my special 2 and basically have that push me up to my special 3 if I get in trouble. Now you can see I'm just getting just horrible prompts. Charge heavy attacks. I'm like, oh my god. So I'm like, hold block now. So I'm like, come on now. Right here, I probably should have baited that special, but he throws a special anyway, so I'm like, alright. But I dex out of it, so I'm like, okay, here I need him to throw this. I shouldn't have stunned him there. That's where I messed up. I gave him that power and I wanted to throw this special too. If he just throws this into my block, I just need him to throw this into my block. And of course he gets this stun champion, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, alright, I'm going to pop out of this. I need to go for, he's no power. I need to go for an intercept really quickly and then throw my SP3, and I can maybe spam SP3 and be safe. So I go at him, come back at the intercept, heavy. I SP3, and I'm like, alright, perfect. I can spam my SP3. Sassy was in the same position, and I'm good. And I did a ton of damage and no special 3. I died. It's like, I don't even know why I didn't get my special 3 there. I had mutant power back boost on. I'm fully ramped. And I don't know. Royally sucked because this is a very close war. So now I have a SP1 boost on, and I'm just like, okay. I just need to get an intercept. And I just need to get an intercept, and I'm getting horrible prompts again. So I'm like, this is not gonna happen again. And I take this all on the block. I'm like, all right, perfect. So now I'm like, all right, I need to get an intercept. need to get an intercept and then kill him. I get it there, and I'm like, okay, perfect. Initiate it. And I'm like, man, this Mojo just wasn't the business. But he's dead now. And then my last fight is this Namor. It's on Safeguard. Now, the reason they place this here is because you want to, obviously it's Safeguard, so it's 1%. So what you want to do is get some, damage over time on him. And he's max 6, so the thought is that when he attacks you, he will basically reflect any of that DOT damage, right? So Mega Sentinel is great because you heal block, right? And she lands and incinerates, which is a lot of damage. So initially, I wanted to stay as far away as possible while he's attacking, and just, when I have any debuffs on him, and I'm just kind of slow playing this, making sure he's heal blocked. And 30 seconds pass, and he's about 20% down, and I'm like, okay, I kind of want him to go into outright Imperious Rex, because then he can never go to a special 3. So I'm gonna let him drain a little bit more here. He throws a special 2. I'm like, perfect. I heal block him. He throws this, and then I'm gonna throw my special 3, and I'm gonna land my big plasmas on him because he's a mutant. And at this point, I'm just gonna keep everything paused and make sure that I'm gonna spam my SB1 to refresh my heal block. I don't care about adding more plasmas. They're going to do sufficient amount of work. You see they're ticking for 3k. So I'm like, all right. And I take all that in the block to see how much it actually does to me, how much damage. And I lose quite a bit of health, but nothing that's going to I can take a few more of those in the block. And the reason I'm taking it to the block is because that SB1 drags a little bit. And it's just like, I don't want to get clipped on it, but he is going down nonetheless. And that was the war. We actually ended up winning. Here, shout out to MVPs, Karate Mike, Trevor, and I got one. I did die though, but we did win off of final soloing all our bosses and stuff. So see you in the next one.